no manager that I can think of off the top of my head will play 3 centre-halves, 2 fullbacks, 2 defensive midfielders, and then pick forward-thinking players on their defensive properties. You don't play Grealish because he doesn't track back. You play Bukayo Saka as a winger because he's got naturally defensive properties.
England just lost to Hungary in a competitive game. This is not okay. Just the other day, I was on TalkSport with my dear friend Adeola Depot, and we had an impromptu conversation about Gareth Southgate. It wasn't in our running order, it wasn't something that we were supposed to do, but we just ended up having that improvised, on-the-spot conversation about Gareth Southgate, and it's garnered a lot of reaction. There's been a TikTok clip going around that I've seen. I'm not even on it, but I've seen that. There was a lot of reaction on Twitter, and people are either very pro or very anti-Gareth Southgate. He seems to be quite a divisive figure. Overall, I would say that the majority of people believe in Southgate. They believe in the Southgate project, and they genuinely think that Southgate is still the one. I disagree. I really passionately disagree, and I've actually now got the fear. I like Southgate. I rate Southgate. But there is a ceiling. I think he's a wonderful statesman for our country. I think he does a good job for England. But England will not win any silverware with Gareth Southgate in charge. Have a look at this. This is what was said on TalkSport, and this is what has got such a strong reaction. Very interested to hear your thoughts. Have a look.
Gareth Southgate, while I believe that he has conducted himself brilliantly in the job, I think he's a great statesman. I think he's a limited manager. I think tactically he gets it wrong. I think that the negativity involved in his selections aren't ideal. And ultimately, I honestly believe that he has cost us silverware. Like, this is such a gifted side. And I feel like we are potentially wasting this wonderful generation, this wonderfully talented generation, on a manager that, while I like Southgate, I genuinely do like him and I appreciate the job that he's done for England, I think there is a ceiling, and it's a low ceiling.
So, strong words. That was said on Friday afternoon. Off the back of that, England went and lost to Hungary. Immediately, the Southgate disciples will start saying, it doesn't happen often. Have you seen the run that England have been on? We've been so good for so long. We've reached the semi-final, then we've reached the final, and defeats do not come along very often. So let's forget having a massive inquest into what went wrong. It's an anomaly, it's a blip. Southgate will get it right, and we will go on another winning streak. That is what those people who are keen advocates of the Southgate model genuinely believe. I'm not in that camp. As I said, I do like him. As a man, I like him and rate him. But England are going nowhere under him. England have lost to Hungary for the first time since 1962. Yes, this is an interesting Hungary team. They're all right. You know, good Italian manager. They are a worthy adversary. But we're meant to be the best. I genuinely believe that this England team are elite. The players at Southgate's disposal has never been better. This is better than the golden generation. People will always tell you about the golden generation of '02 that went to Korea and Japan. This is better. The depth in this team is better. This is an elite side. And when you think of the wonderful players that play in the Premier League that have no opportunity to play for England, that demonstrates quite how good this England side are. This England team are fantastic, and it's amazing, but Gareth Southgate's side look nothing like World Cup contenders. Nothing like it. In that game, in the way that England set up, in the way that England managed the game against Hungary, we look nothing like a side capable of winning a World Cup. We had no control in the midfield, and the opposition had a fairly clever shape. We were consistently outnumbered, and we lost the game. Yes, I know some people now will be saying, but we were really unlucky. It was a questionable penalty. But the penalty came around because, yet again, Hungary exposed England. Not for the first time, but it was really simple. Just one fairly obvious, but well executed, early diagonal pass. And suddenly, England's shape are all over the place. We're panicked. And it went from right to left. All of a sudden, that Nagy is on the wrong side of Reece James. And Reece James, who had just come on the pitch, it was a shame for him, hauls him down. He's on the wrong side. But realistically, it shouldn't have mattered. The quality that England have, it shouldn't have mattered. England should be totally controlling a game against an opposition like that. We should be more attacking. Why are we so defensive when we have such an array of glorious attacking talent? We have some of the most mercurial footballers in world football. And we play 3 at the back, 2 wing backs, 2 defensive midfielders, and then we pick our forward-thinking players based on the properties that they have in a defensive capacity. Why are we not building a team around Jack Grealish? Why are we not building a team around Phil Foden? Why are we not using our effervescent, flammable players to the best of their ability? And why are we not making the most of this tournament? This tournament is our last opportunity to realistically prepare for Qatar. There are no friendlies between now and Qatar. So this tournament is our only hope to prepare for it. So what is the point in playing James Justin? Whatever you think of James Justin, whatever you think of his future, James Justin will not feature for England in Qatar. England have such good players in that position. James Justin will not play. So what is the point in playing him now? Is he one for the future? Is he one for 3 years' time? Maybe. But let's talk about that then. England now have to use this opportunity because this World Cup is going to come around so quick. There's no time to prepare. You play a league game and then all of a sudden you're playing in a World Cup. So these fixtures are where we need to play our best team. This is where we need to play our team that is going to go to the World Cup. This is it. There is no point in James Justin getting minutes at the moment. That benefits nobody apart from James Justin. England's preparation for Qatar is no better because James Justin has had minutes, because he will not feature in Qatar. He will not go to Qatar. I feel the same about Jarrod Bowen. Really good player, brilliant season, and looked lively for England. He's probably our best attacking player. But he's obviously not going to go. He's obviously not going to start for England. He's obviously not going to feature for England. Because in that position, England are so blessed. You've got players like Jack Grealish not getting in the team. You've got players like Phil Foden not getting in the team. You've got players like Mason Mount not getting in the team. So how on earth is Jarrod Bowen going to break into that? Really good player. I don't want this to be Rory doesn't rate Jarrod Bowen or doesn't like him. I think he's a brilliant player. He had a commendable season. And under any other circumstance, I would say give him minutes for England. But we don't have that luxury now. And I honestly think that England's preparation for this World Cup is just going wrong. And I'm fearful. I love the World Cup. I love tournament football. I always go to tournaments. Well, pre-baby, I would always go to World Cups and Euros. But this is just, I feel like we're wasting a golden generation. And it's really troubling me. I'm going to leave you with a few more words from the TalkSport show. But as always, let me know what you think. Keen to hear your thoughts. If you've enjoyed this video, please do me the honour. Give it a like, click subscribe. And I will hope that you have had a wonderful day.
I feel like I've opened up a can of worms with you. Every time I ask about Southgate, I see your pulse, everything.
I'm just worried.
I can actually see it in your neck,
do
your
you
pulse.
Do you know what it is, Addy? I do get quite animated regarding it because I'm worried. I think that this is such an amazing crop of players. And if we don't secure silverware
We just got
now...
to a semi-final of a World Cup and a final of the Euros and you're worried.
Yeah, have you had a look in the trophy cabinet lately?
No, I didn't go there because there's no point
There's
in going
cobwebs.
there. It's cobwebs indeed.